To go off of that, during this speech, I will be talking about 3 specific eating disorders in particular that are commonly well known. First, anorexia. Anorexia is an eating disorder that convinces its victims to view themselves larger than they actually are, causing them to reduce their calorie intake and become famished. According to the ANRED, which is a foundation that helps with the awareness of eating disorders, anorexia affects the lives of 1 in 100 women between the ages of 10 and 20 years old. Now that in itself does not include the women outside of that age range, and that doesn't even include the men at all. Mental and physical symptoms of anorexia include muscle weakness, hair loss, depression, bad skin, and bad nails. The victim will also tend to make excuses for not eating. It is normally a disease that is put off to the side and not talked about much. However, it is the deadliest mental illness that we know of, and it kills about 20% of its victims. Next, which is probably the most common eating disorder, is binge eating. This consists of frequent sessions of overeating where the sufferer feels out of control and ashamed afterwards. However, they also feel unable to stop during. The victim does nothing to fix the outcome. Mental and physical symptoms include depression, anxiety, eating foods high in sugar, eating a lot of food in one sitting, and weight gain. Lastly, bulimia. Bulimia is an eating disorder that closely relates to binge eating, except the victim will try their hardest to lose the weight that they have gained. They will do things like excessive exercise, vomit, laxatives, diet pills, and fasting. Mental and physical symptoms include frequent trips to the bathroom, mood swings, severe self-criticism, headaches, irregular or loss of menstruation, and low blood pressure. A positive outlook on all of this is that there is a cure. Yes, I said it. Mentally, the person has to be willing to admit that they have a problem, and they have to be willing to get help from others. Everyone is not the same, so it may take some longer than others, but that's okay. While there are many stories like this, I decided to share with you this one. This is a girl that has been my motivation for a while now. Now take a good look at her, because this was her 3 years ago. In 2012, Sarah Bomar, the girl pictured on the screen, was eating less than 800 calories a day. Now, for those of us who don't know, the average person eats about 2,000 calories a day. She would weigh herself 3 times a day, and she would starve herself in front of people but binge behind closed doors. This made her feel badly about herself, and she became obsessed with cardio exercises, and she took way too many laxatives. The girl you are looking at in the picture informed me that although she did all this stuff to make herself look better, she felt ugly on the outside and dead on the inside. Now, back to the pictures I showed you before. Sarah Bomar got to this point with help, courage, and she blocked that voice out in her head that was telling her she was too fat and that she couldn't do it. She got herself mentally stronger, became a certified personal trainer and a health enthusiast. She now has a diet of 2,000 calories and doesn't remember the last time she stepped on a scale. Sadly, eating disorders are common and they are deadly in some cases. However, like Sarah showed us, they can be cured. And while anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating all have things in common, they all look different. So we never know who is suffering from one. Thank you.